crowd pleaser Michael Pena plays one of the first ever Mexican-American astronauts in a true story. Let's talk about Amazon Prime's A Million Miles Away. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for the new Amazon Prime film, A Million Miles Away. This is based on the life of NASA astronaut Jose M. Hernandez, and he is played, like I mentioned in the intro, by Michael Pena. He is not quite the first of Latin descent to go into space, but certainly one of the first, and he's got a very interesting story. So before I launch into the specifics of this movie, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out just about every day. I try to post something new for you guys at least 5 or 6 times a week. So subscribe and click that notification bell as well so you can be alerted of when I drop new videos. But if you're already a subscriber, if you don't want to do that, just click that like button down below. That helps the channel out tremendously as well. Okay, so Michael Pena, we know this guy very well over the years in so many different things. I'm not even sure what he's most famous for. Possibly Ant-Man. I mean, that was probably the movie that has been seen by the most people that he was a part of. But he's been both, in lead roles and ensemble roles for many, many years. We've seen him in so many things. But in this one, he is pretty much front and center because he does play, the main character here, Jose Hernandez. Although this movie does cover the childhood years as well. So we don't actually see Michael Pena for a little bit, probably the first, 15 minutes or something of the movie. He is absent. And then we have, another actor playing the younger version. Let me see if I can find his name here. No, I sure can't. Okay. Well, anyway, but this is based on a book written by the astronaut himself, and the book was called Reaching for the Stars. And this whole production is, very Latinx centered. It was directed by someone I'm not familiar with, but Alejandra Marquez Abella. And the screenplay was co-written by her, but also Bettina Gilio and Hernan Jimenez. So very, very, Latin in its roots. And it's a little bit reminiscent of, this one was on Hulu and not Amazon, but earlier this year there was Flamin' Hot, which was about the inventor of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And, I certainly took some issues with that movie in its, basis in reality and the truth, which we didn't have much of an issue with here. It turns out, most of what's on the screen here is fairly accurate to both, the book and the real story. So that is always good to see. But in any event, both this and Flamin' Hot do kind of center around the Mexican-American family unit. And I think that's something that Flamin' Hot got right. But here it's even more pronounced and even more, part of the story, because we see Hernandez start out as, a migrant farm worker with his family as a young boy, but he has a, great aptitude for math and wants to be an astronaut after seeing one of the NASA missions in the early 70s. And so, many, many decades later, after many, many tries of breaking into, or trying to break into NASA, not physically, but, getting his foot in the door at NASA, I should say. And then, the rest is history. But look, Michael Pena, very likable dude. We've seen him, like I said, in so many different things over the years. But he's always this likable presence. And by all accounts, that's what Hernandez is, just a nice dude. But this goes, from those humble beginnings through, the different processes of, trying to be an astronaut and figure out what his future is, and then, in the door. I think Pena does a great job with this role. And, direction-wise and story-wise, look, it's pretty beat for beat of many biopics. It goes chronologically. There's not a whole lot of, like, gotcha moments or particularly, interesting or groundbreaking, direction or anything like that. This is just a really, really nice, enjoyable family film. I don't know if it's rated or not. Sometimes the streaming services don't rate their movies. Sometimes they do. But this is if it is rated, I would think it's PG. It is very family friendly, and it's good for the whole family to see a movie like this. And I would think certainly for Latino families as well, to see themselves on the screen, as we don't usually do, and not just because of the NASA sort of angle, but this reminded me a lot of Hidden Figures, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love it so much. Grade-wise, I think as a movie, it's probably more of like an A minus, something like that. Because it is a little bit routine and a little bit safe. But I love it personally. It's in my personal favorite movies of all time. And look, this is not up to quite that standard, but in terms of telling an honest story, doing it well, and yeah, okay, doing it maybe a little bit safely, but being sort of a crowd pleaser, I think you could certainly do worse. I hate this idea of movies have to be super gritty and all. Hidden Figures, certainly, those women face some issues. Certainly, Hernandez here faces some issues, but at the end of the day, this is a feel-good, crowd-pleasing family movie, and when it's done well, boy, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And so Michael Pena delivers a great performance to boot. That certainly helps as well. And the fact that, most of what we see on the screen really did happen. It is, mostly based in a grounded reality. We like that too. And much like Hidden Figures, So look, this is, I think, one of the best live action family movies of the year. There's certainly been some good animated ones, I think. But in terms of, live action, the whole family can sit and enjoy this, from, little 6-year-old Susie or Johnny to, the great grandparents. Everybody will enjoy this movie, I think, if you're looking for something feel good. I Leave a Million Miles Away with a B plus, and you can see that streaming now on Amazon Prime. A little too safe, maybe, but like I said, nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It.